welcome to the Lunch Rush. And today, my co-host, you know him, that's Chris. And then I'm
Chris.
Sarah Catherine the Red. Hello. And today we're going to be doing some reaction videos. Again, this is something Chris found. I've never seen it. I have no idea what's going to happen. No idea what he's going to torture me with today.
We're gonna react to a relationship advice, bad advice, I guess. Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah,
here we go.
we're
Okay.
4 pieces of terrible dating advice. Number 1, wait till date 3 to sleep with them. No, absolutely not. It's the most predictable thing in the world. And they
wait. Okay, the whole waiting a certain. I think that's a case by case. There are some people who are love at first sight and they can't keep their hands off each other. And they do it on day
Yeah.
one and they get married. There are some people who are like, you're not even going to know where I live until I've known you for 6 months or something.
Yeah.
That's a case
It
by
is.
case.
It is. It's definitely whether or not there's chemistry, whether or not you're comfortable together, whether or not there's mutual respect.
Yeah.
You know.
What do they say? Women know in the first minute. Like, oh yeah, I'm never gonna give him any. is that still the standard
I
saying?
don't know. I think for me it takes a minute
For
to get to know
me,
somebody. Like you can tell whether or not you're physically attracted.
to him. Yeah.
But some people become more attractive the longer you know them. Like maybe at first there wasn't that immediate, oh my God, I'm gonna jump his bones. But they were like, oh, he's all right.
Oh
And
my
then
God! I didn't know you drove a Ferrari.
charming or funny or something. For some women, I'm sure panties drop for Ferraris, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh
you never
yeah.
know.
Don't go
Pulls
chasing
out pulls
waterfalls.
out the American Express black card.
Yeah. Guys who drop that fake bank statement on purpose just so that she can see it.
I think it's more nowadays. It's those exclusive credit cards.
Oh
They pull out
no.
those exclusive credit cards.
Platinum. Oh, the black card. Ooh.
they don't know you by date 3, and the tension hasn't built, so don't do it. Number 2, the right person will love
Wait,
every single
time out.
thing about you.
What?
The tension hasn't built by date 3. So she's saying
So she wants you to build it up more.
she wants you to wait even longer. So she
yeah.
wants you to say, oh, date 3 is not long enough. You need to wait longer than that because the tension's not built up.
Yeah.
What,
So what
what are we holding at attention here?
have you ever
Like we're stretching out his ding dong to see how long it's gonna go before it snaps and he just goes, why?
it's like, I guess if it can't handle that, then it can't handle me, right? That's what she's gonna
But
say.
also men. There's men that don't want to sleep with somebody within the first month of dating.
That's
It's
okay.
not a feminine issue, the not sleeping. It's put upon us because we're supposed to be virtuous and whatever.
Yeah.
And women are highly sexual. And if you want to sleep with some dude, do it, girl. Use condom.
Has there ever been has there ever been a guy that you were just like, oh my God, I can't wait. This like from the first moment you met him, like, oh my God, this guy's
Yeah.
too
You
this
just
guy's
knew
too hot.
you just knew that he knew
That it
all
was
the things.
was it what did they say now? That was his riz just too good.
I've never heard that. That's weird.
That's the new thing. That's what they're saying now. His riz is just too powerful. All right, number 2.
Will love every single thing about you. Not true. I had to learn this the hard way. There's always going to be things about you that somebody doesn't completely love, and that's okay. It doesn't mean they don't love you. Number 3, don't worry, you'll find someone when you're not looking. No, you won't. If you're not looking, then you're never gonna find someone. You need to put yourself out there, like no question. And number 4, if they can't handle me at my worst, they don't deserve me at my best. No one should have to handle you at your worst. Go to therapy. Don't have a worst.
Well, you're gonna have bad moments, but yeah, that's right. Yeah, go to therapy if you
Life
need
is
therapy.
up and downs. Life is ups and downs. You should always be working on yourself.
Yeah.
And, if you accept a partner, there's going to be days where they're looking like shit, or they're feeling like shit, or they're acting like a piece of shit. And then there's some days that they're, fantastically wonderful. Any woman that's dated a heterosexual cisgendered man knows this, that some days
There's gonna be
sometimes they're
ups and
awful.
downs. Yeah.
Yes.
And anybody who's ever dated a redhead knows that it's just gonna be days where she's just gonna punch you in the face while you're sleeping because she had that dream. God,
That's true.
you got, oops, there we go.
I'm Dr. Sarah Hensley, and this is more Carline relationship advice. The worst advice I have ever heard on TikTok, and it goes around all the time, and armchair psychologists who are not relationship experts perpetuate this horrible myth, and it's this right here. That myth is if they wanted to, they would. Sometimes it's want, yeah. Okay, fair enough. But a lot of times it's they are not able to. But a lot of signs that it is they are avoidant is that they do show up, they do interact, they do connect. But when commitment comes on the table, that's when they shut down. Or there has been a significant period of closeness and vulnerability, or an event where there's been high emotional connection, like a vacation or a visit with each other or a long weekend spent, and then they withdraw. That's classic avoidance, okay? And there is a difference, and we don't need to perpetuate the myth that if they wanted to, they would. You know what? Sometimes they want to, but they just don't have the tools. And so, you know what? It doesn't matter. You still have to have boundaries around your needs and your expectations, but the way that you can communicate that and the context around it makes all the difference. So if you are dating somebody that pulls away and you want help, you can reach out to me at datingdecodercoach@gmail.com.
There's the plug. But that video was don't listen to armchair psychologists and bad relationship advice.
That whole thing sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me.
I mean, well, she says that she's the doctor and she's the expert.
What kind of doctor is she?
I mean, that would be if you have to look into your but see, you have a very suspicious nature though.
Me?
Yeah, you have a very, I've noticed that about you. You're usually, let me see those credentials. That's what she wants to do.
Say you're dating this person and all of a sudden you had a wonderful weekend together and then you don't hear from them for several days to a week.
How long? Okay, wait. In this situation, how long have you been dating?
You're dating 3 months.
And it's
4
been 3 months. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And you're used to hearing from them every single day. Da 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 da. You have this intimate weekend together, and then you don't hear from them for a week. She's saying that just might be their attachment style. They might need to just withdraw and recharge or whatever it is. And nowhere in there does she actually tell you what to do.
She said, but at the end, she said you have to set boundaries. Meaning,
yes, you have to set boundaries.
So if the guy did that to you and you didn't like it, you have to tell him that.
No, she said to set boundaries. She didn't say anything about communicating your boundaries or even asking them what's up.
Hold on, let me finish it real quick. This is the last 10 seconds. Let's see.
And the context around it makes all the difference. So if you are dating somebody that pulls away and you want help, you can reach out to me at datingdecodercoach.
See, she's not going to give the answer right away. She's going to wait. She wants you to reach out and call her for the answer.
So if somebody, if here's my advice: if they wanted to, they would, sure. If they were capable, they would, sure.
If they were capable.
But if somebody is doing something weird or pulls away or does something that you're just like, what the hell, buddy? Guess what? You should say, what the hell, buddy, in the nicest way that you feel like it's appropriate to say to that person. Yeah. If somebody completely ghosts you after a wonderful weekend, you can text them, you give them a call and say, hey, I had a wonderful time, but I feel like you've withdrawn. What's going on?
Right. And if that answer is reasonable, acceptable, if they're okay, if they can communicate their issues, it's not that I'm wilding out while you're not around. It's just that's just how I am.
I've had a busy week at work and I need some time to emotionally recharge or whatever.
This is my me time.
Yeah, I don't like all of these attachment style things because I feel like it's another excuse for behavior. I think people are just using that to box everybody into these little categories in order to provide excuses for actions and behaviors that are just not nice to other people. Like it's easy if you have an avoidance style to go, I recognize I have avoidance style. I know that after a big weekend like that, I'm going to tell my partner, hey, I'm going to need a little time to recharge after this, and I'm going to be a little busy at work. You might not hear from me for a couple of days.
Isn't that what she just said? That might be the case of what might be happening. He said that it doesn't mean that he doesn't love you. He might have an issue.
But she talked nothing about communication between the two partners. She just said, if this happens, they might be doing this, or this might be the case.
That-
I'm not going to WebMD to diagnose my best friend's brother
Mhm.
and then going to the doctor the next day to diagnose my best friend's brother.
So I don't understand so are you saying that this person as a doctor should never advertise themselves as a doctor for what their skill set
No,
is?
I'm saying that she cannot tell me that the partner that I'm seeing has a particular kind of attachment style, because that's not the patient that she can diagnose. You don't go to the doctor because your friend's sick. You go to a doctor to talk to them about yourself, and she can talk to you about your attachment styles. She cannot tell you
this is
what
a
somebody
relation-
else's
this is
attachment styles
rel-
because they're not her patient.
But this is a relationship scenario. Like if they're, so that's by that logic, then there should never be couples therapy.
It's a might be. No, couples therapy, both members of the couple talk to the therapist.
So, but in
In
a
this
lot of scenarios, both couples aren't going hand in hand to sign up. I went to couples therapy and she was going there alone first, and then we turned it into couples therapy later.
But the therapist can only work on the person that's there. She can provide,
Exactly.
She can say hypotheticals, might be.
It sounds like you're saying that you think that you heard her say something like, "Come to me by yourself and I'll diagnose your spouse." I didn't hear
No,
that.
what she said is, all she did was talk about the partner might be this, might be that, might be this, might be that.
That's
This
not a
person,
diagnosis.
that
That is a possibility. But doctors do that. If you tell
But
me,
then
if
she
you
says,
go
if
to the
you're
doctor
dealing
and
with
say,
somebody that's pulling away, come talk to me.
because this is a big ass this is just a TikTok commercial. But if you go to the doctor and say that my son says that that this hurts and he says that hurts, a doctor can say it might be this, it might be that, but I can't diagnose it until they come in. That's what I felt like she did.
It's like the psychics that only talk about new connections coming in. New connections coming in. There's all these new connections coming in, but they never talk about you.
I'm feeling an energy from this side of the room.
Yeah. There's a new person coming in. You're going to meet somebody new.
Yeah, somebody with the letter K is coming to.
Or that, pick a vowel.
Yeah, pick a.
But those are more likely. Pick a vowel.
Yeah.
Tell me that you know better. To contact your ex or to have your significant other be in contact with their ex is a boundary crossing. It's a violation of the relationship. Am I right? Why are
No,
you allowing
because
this?
I'm divorced. I have a son with my ex, and so I have to talk to him sometimes. Doesn't mean
That's an exception. That's a situation where you might have to communicate with your ex, obviously. But let's say the situation is two single young people with no children.
okay. Why are they talking to him?
Your boyfriend's talking to his ex that he has no real ties to. You're okay with that?
Well, has the ex transitioned?
No, the question. No, why are you blaming the ex? Has your boyfriend transitioned? That's the question.
I'm just saying.
Sounds
I'm
like you're
just
blaming.
saying. What are the life circumstances in which this is
No,
happening?
life circumstances.
Are
you comfortable?
Are they sharing a pet?
Look, if you're comfortable with the second, like y'all roll off of each other, and he immediately gets on the phone and like, I'm just gonna call my ex and tell her all about what we just did. If you're comfortable with that, that's
No, that's a different scenario altogether.
We're gonna have to talk to the last therapist for that.
There we go. Yeah, exactly. We'll talk about a third party to the last therapist.
Oh yeah.
We're assuming she said she was a doctor. She didn't say she was a therapist of any kind.
The last person?
The last person said she was a doctor. She didn't identify of what.
Doctor.
I'm suspicious.
Doctor of TikTokonomics.
I mean, you could get a PhD and call yourself a doctor.
I mean, yeah, because you get because you earned it.
That's a doctor. That's a doctoral.
That's a doctorate.
Degree.
Yeah. Why are you trying to doctor shame right now?
I'm just saying, there's lots of kind of doctors. Just because they have a medical degree doesn't mean they should be telling you about your brain or whatever.
You have a doctor in mathematics. Stop trying to convince me about my COVID test. So yeah, I know. There all these scammers.
I'm not gonna let a mathematic doctor do eye surgery. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not gonna let a guy who got a doctorate in history tell me that that he can reset my bone if there are breaks in 3 places. Yeah, I get it. I get what you're saying there. Is that the last one I think I had?
Are you ruining your relationship without even realizing? If you are doing any of these things that I'm about to speak about, this is negatively impacting your relationship, and it's time to address it and it's time to change it.
The first question is: are you going to take advice from a person is it okay to take a relationship advice from England? Should Americans be? No, I'm just joking.
She's Australian.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant. No, that's an Australian accent. Yeah.
I got you. It's cool. I think that's Australian or New Zealand.
I'm going to explain. Hi, by the way, if you're new here, my name is Paige. I'm a relationship and life coach, so please do follow me if you want to stick around.
No, you're right.
Okay, so I work with a lot of
I mean, I'm a relationship and a life coach. Anybody can call themselves a fucking relationship coach.
couples, and couples come to me for a variety of different reasons. And one of the things I pick up normally within the first one or two sessions is some of these things. And whether these are happening consciously or subconsciously, they are ruining the foundation of the relationship or marriage without the couple even usually knowing.
Okay, for one, first thing I would ask is, how long have you been married, ma'am? Because I'm not taking relationship or couple advice from a coach who's never been married. I'm just not going to do it.
The first one is listening to respond, but not listening to understand. When we are in a conflict or even a conversation, often we're so eager to get our point across, our response across, that we're not actually hearing and understanding and processing what the other person's saying, which is what ends up in this constant back and forth of missing each other.
That's not specific to relationships. That's just being a good listener.
No, but the people who aren't really listening, they're just waiting for their turn to speak. I hate those guys.
But that's not specific to a relationship.
Yeah, that's people that
that's
do that.
just general.
Yeah,
Don't be an asshole.
In the work environment.
What? No, wait, Chris, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to say. Stop talking. I'm
yeah,
thinking.
yeah, but I'm sitting here thinking about what I'm about to say
I'm
next.
going to say what I'm going to say. I'm going to take breaths and give you a lecture.
I'm waiting for you to pause that sentence so I can start talking.
There you go. That's exactly it.
Understanding what each other's saying or having any empathy for each other because we just want to get our point across.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with what your partner's saying, but it is important that you at least listen to it, understand it, and accept it. Number two is constantly accusing this person of doing wrong, although you have no evidence to back this up.
That's a big one for me. I don't care what it is. Back in the day, like even if I was 100% guilty and I knew I was guilty, if you didn't have any evidence, I didn't care. And on the flip side of it, I used to get so pissed off if I knew I was 100% innocent of something that I was being accused of, and you're gonna talk. Then my brain would just that disassociation thing that the other person was talking about. My brain would just switch and I wouldn't care. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, whatever, okay.
It's an insecure thing though to accuse somebody of something and you have no actual proof. Like maybe you had a bad dream or you just had a feeling, you know.
Well, women always prize themselves on that. We have intuition. Everybody has intuition. It's called instinct.
In relationships, I get accused of all sorts of shit because men and most people, not just men, but a lot of men, are kind of insecure. They're kind of insecure.
Redheads are known to be sneaky.
Men are kind of insecure. At least most of the men that I've dated at some point, they think the person down the street smiling at me knows me and I screwed them or something.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm just like, why?
Because they make like, well, you think he looks better than me? I kick his ass. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just being insecure.
Yeah, women never do that. What you looking at that bitch for?
They absolutely do. They absolutely do.
I just want to say, if you have a gut feeling that something is wrong, you should always listen to that. And it's something I teach a lot of my clients to do. But constantly accusing someone of doing something wrong because a previous relationship or person has done that to you is ultimately just going to ruin the foundation of your relationship.
Yeah.
It's super important that if you are doing this and this person is doing their utmost to support you through it and they really aren't doing anything wrong, that you unpack this previous relationship. Because imagine constantly being accused of doing something when you are not doing it. That's pretty tough. And I'm not saying your feelings aren't valid, they are. If you have been hurt in a previous relationship, of course you are going to worry about this happening again. Your brain is going to worry because it thinks it's protecting you. But we have to take some responsibility and say, well, you know what, if this person isn't doing anything wrong and they're really trying to support me through this and I have no evidence backing up my claims, then maybe I just need to work on myself a little bit and heal some of these wounds that maybe I have from previous relationships.
You know, there's some people that will hear that advice and still and then go, or I need to get better at sneaking around and finding out what he's hiding.
Yeah, well, she goes, but she invalidated it. She went both sides. She went, definitely listen to your gut, but maybe you need to do some inner healing if you constantly think they're doing something. So,
She said, no, she said, listen to your gut because your feelings are valid. But if you you absolutely have no evidence that this new guy is not doing the same thing that the last guy did.
If you're insecure, your gut is just going to continue to tell you shit's wrong because you're insecure.
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that.
So listening to your gut with no evidence
or he's very good at hiding. And they're all
he's
pigs.
just a yes man and he's just saying whatever you want to hear and then don't know you're in this horrible relationship when you're all happy.
Like years later,
and the gut is all you have.
Years later, like 10 years later, you see him walking around with.
Hold on, Chris. No, I'm not finished talking. I'm going to talk over you. Hold on,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, no, that was it. That's all I had to say.
Oh, okay. Damn. Wow. See, toxic and insecure. Toxic and
this is never going to work out between us.
Next is seeing your partner as your enemy. Now, this is a very common thing that happens in a lot of the couples that I work with. That when the relationship begins to get rocky, we look at each other as the sole problem. But actually, it's about seeing the problem as the problem and seeing each other as teammates trying to fix it. Please know all of these things can be worked on, and you are not alone if you're sitting listening to this and thinking, oh wait, I do some of these things. But it's about saying, how am I going to work on these things? How am I going to change it? And ultimately, how can we be a team? Are you ruining your...
So
overall good. She's a teenager, but okay. That's good.
That's funny. It's interesting how you give more credibility to the coach versus the doctor.
Well, she's talking more about working on things together as a team. She's giving very basic advice, and she's not blaming everything on the partner, where the doctor was like, your partner could be all of these things. Set boundaries, give me a call.
Yeah, that's what they did in the 90s. You know, you don't need a man. He's probably a dog. Yeah, that's a grift.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And she's all like, okay, so yeah, you and your boyfriend start having an argument, and then he shows you this girl's picture and goes, maybe we should go. Her office is right down the street. Maybe we should go talk with her. She seems smart.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not expect that yes. Most guys are gonna look at her and be. I wonder how. I would love to ask her. No fault. I'd be like, ma'am, no fault of your own. Doesn't matter how you look. But how many times have you been accused of like as the woman of the relationship, like been like, is there something going on here, or got insecure? And I bet you she would say it happens a lot. And just like I bet that there's guys who only want to go to her because of how pretty she is.
I'm sure.
It happens a lot in real estate. I fucking can't stand it.
Beat him off with a stick, Chris.
No, not for me. I'm talking about the people who come off of from modeling straight to real estate, and their first. Me and my friends used to joke about this. Like their first couple of clients are all, because I've seen these perv clients. These first couple of clients are guys that just want to walk around with a hot realtor. And then they let them sell their $1 million mansion. And then instantly, just like that, from getting your license to a month later, you've already got $1 million sale under your resume. It aggravates me so because I'm petty and jealous.
Yeah, you just got to put out.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
you got to talk to Joy about that. You got to talk to Joy about that.
That's a story for another time. Next on the lunch rush, how many clients? Okay, all right, that was the last one.
Got so many new clients, and they're all old ladies. Yeah. What happened?
All right, we're signing out. All right, sign us out, lady.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming to the lunch rush with Sarah and Chris.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Sarah Catherine the Red. You can catch me on Instagram, and my dazzling co-host if you need to have your house sold and you're in the Texas area and you're a gorgeous,
I don't care how gorgeous you are. You could be a
millionaire old lady.
I don't care if you're a 90-year-old gilf, and if you got $1 million house to sell, yeah, I'm putting out. It's all for you. Sexual chocolate, real estate. Yeah, sexual chocolate, real estate.
That's the new.
That's the new one.
Charlotte will sell your home for you.
That's right.